The DA's office says seniors are falling for online and phone scams more and more often, and that the numbers have become so high, they've rolled out a new campaign aimed at preventing people from becoming victims. That's our top story on the 4. Hi, everybody. I'm Anna Laurel.
I'm Marcella Lee. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us live today from the Hall of Justice. Kelly, this is a huge problem. These scammers have become so highly sophisticated. You spoke with one victim today. What did he tell you?
Yeah, and this gentleman, Chris Heisey, he was very candid. He says he and his wife were ashamed that they were scammed. They were embarrassed, but he chose to speak out to prevent this from happening to someone else.
In May of last year, on my birthday no less, my wife and I were victims of internet fraud. I received a pop-up message from Microsoft that said my computer had been compromised.
Chris Heisey says he called the number provided in the message and was transferred to a woman pretending to be an investigator for Chase Bank.
It was the urgency of don't hang up, with us. We need to get this straightened out for you.
He and his wife ended up scammed out of $35,000.
My wife and I, at that moment, made a pact that we were not going to tell anyone about this, just because of the shame, the embarrassment.
Sadly, authorities say Chris's story is one they keep hearing over and over.
I lost $1 million. My screen locked up, and it said, call this number. I knew very well that I shouldn't call that number.
The Stop, Hang Up, and Tell Someone campaign rolled out today, aimed at helping people protect their loved ones from becoming victims. The DA's office says in the past year in San Diego County, losses have reached close to $150 million. Scammers often pose as your bank, law enforcement, or like in Chris's case, will pretend your computer has been hacked.
The urgency to act and isolation from family and friends are very bright red flags that everyone should be aware of.
If you didn't initiate the particular contact, then it is a scam.
Fortunately, authorities ended up helping Chris and his wife recover half of their money.
It was a tough time for my wife and I. A year and a half later, it still hurts.
He urges other victims to come forward.
And so if you are scammed, they say contact police, contact the FBI. Now, authorities say a lot of times these crime rings are international, overseas somewhere, but they share notes. They're very connected. But in some cases, suspects have been identified and they've been prosecuted. Anna and Marcella.
So, Kelly, what about AI? I'm sure authorities are seeing it used in online scams.
Yeah, and that question was asked today, and authorities said they haven't seen a huge amount of AI used yet. So that's the whole thing, is that they're trying to get ahead of all this. They're trying to get people out there more savvy, more aware of the scams that are going on to try and prevent more victims. Now, when it comes to AI, the one thing they did talk about today is AI being used to mimic people's voices, that in some cases they could pose as the grandchildren of someone to try and scam money out of some of these older adults.
We've done stories on that too. Anything that can kind of tug at your emotional heartstrings. People can be so victimized and lose thousands, if not in some cases millions of dollars. Kelly, thanks so much for that warning.